Okay, this is exactly the point where we did stop right now. And now let's have a look into the content provider. So what can we do with this one? Okay, let's close this. And then let's see. Content provider, this one over here. So we've got this track user content provider and it has been exported to true, which means it's accessible from the outside world. This is our authority name, and I guess it's exactly the same, right? No. Oh, okay, it is the same, yes. Okay, so let's have a look into this one. Okay, create table names, ID, integer primary key, auto increment. We've gotten table names and we've got fields. An ID, which is counting up. So maybe let's write this down. We've got an ID. That's the first row. Then we've got this name, which is the second row. Okay, good. Name, drawing with the mouse is a little bit hard, but yeah, this is our table. And the table is named names. Okay, this is our provider name. Perfect. And this is our complete database. All right, we already have all this information listed over here in these few lines. Now let's see, we've got matches. We've got track users and track users with a kind of regex. So, okay, this should work for both. We do not care about this one. And then let's see, we've got delete, get type, insert, on create query. So these are now all the things. We have this content resolver, which is asking to get access to this one, and these APIs will be returned back. Here's our cursor query. So this is our entry to this database entry. So we can do update, we can delete, we can do inserts and stuff like this. So it seems like we're having full control of this one. Yes, nice. Okay, then I would suggest let's have a look what's stored inside there. Let's see. So ADB shell, and then let's put this on the right and this on the left. Okay, so we are having our content. Yes, let's make this a little smaller. Okay, and now we start with a simply query to see if there are already data in there. So let's see. Here we have it. Okay, ADB shell. That's not necessary right now, but then content query. Then we have to provide the URI, and the URI is the URL we have seen over here. So let's put this farther on the left. Okay, that's the URL. We want to fetch the information in track users. Okay, then let's see what's next. Okay, then we can define a projection and other things. But if we are not providing anything, I mean, we are just returning back the data which is being stored inside there. And that's good. So we can close this one, put this on the left, and then let's see. And we can see no results has been found because we have not logged into this application right now. Okay, so now's the point where we need some credentials, and I have planned it in this way to show you that it makes a huge difference if you test an application if you started from the beginning, or if you're testing an application which already has some content. In case of our activities, maybe you want to recap certain things if those features really does not work. Maybe there hasn't been some context inside this application, and this was the reason for all these error messages, which means if we're having a customer application which is running on a real device and we have access to those activities content provider via our own application, then maybe we could read out or we could perform certain transactions. All right? Okay, so here we have learned it the hard way that if you test something, do it without content, but also do the exact same steps back again with some content. All right, the credentials for this application are shown here. And these can be used to log into this one right now. So therefore, let's do this. Okay, I mean, we are hackers, so therefore, let's do it this way. Input text Dinesh. So it's not capital D, it's lowercase d. And now input text, that's the password. Okay, let's hit login. Invalid credentials, interesting. So these are not the correct credentials. Then let's do it with check. Whoops, not here. Input text check. And here we're having check at $123. All right, this works. So not sure what's happening with these. Maybe they need to be activated or things like this, but we have to use check. Okay, I will rework my animation and only print the correct ones. So now we are logged in. So let's see, transfer from account. We simply hit get accounts. Okay, then we have the amount. Let's say we want to transfer 100. And let's see. Transfer successful. Okay. Do we have some view? I guess that's still the same interface. Okay, then let's go back. View statement. Message success from to amount. Okay, here we can see the transactions and change password. Maybe let's also do it this one. Oh, we have to stay in the password policy. So I'm using input text test at $123. Yes, password successful, restart to perform this. Okay. And we can also see updated password from to. So we are receiving an SMS which contains our old password and also the new one, which sounds absolutely ridiculous, right? Yes, but that's how it is right now. So now let's click restart. Okay, and we also have autofill credentials. And then we can now hit login and invalid credentials, because that's interesting. The autofill credentials, it would be now pretty interesting if they are the old or the new settings. So let's see. Test at, oh, sorry. Let's do it this way. Login. Okay, so we can see the credentials has been changed, but it seems like that the credentials in the shared preferences are only updated after we have successfully logged in. So if we change the password, the autofill option doesn't work anymore because it contains the old password in there. Interesting design decision, but we are here for the content provider, so let's get back to them. Let's see, we simply hit the upper arrow key, and now let's see if there's something inside here. And there we go. We can see row 0 is named check and row ID 1, row 1, ID 2 is also check. So this application logs every user that logs in to this app, which is amazing because we can fetch this and we can fetch these information from our external application, and then we can combine these to maybe change the password. Do you still remember the change password activity? Of course you do. Now we've got a username, and the attack vector would be the following. Our malicious app, this one over here, is using this content provider to retrieve the username out of this application. So now our app knows, okay, there is a username, check, inside here. And now our application can launch the change password, this change password intent with this username to maybe change the password of this user without having access to the original user credentials. Let's try this real quick. I mean, it's now related more to the activities, but this is done pretty quickly. Maybe we still have it here. No. So let's see, is it still open somewhere? Okay, here we still got it open. So now we are not using admin, we are using check. And to make this an invalid attack, let's reset everything. All right, so now let's open the change password with the intent check. Okay. And now let's see if we have changed the password. Ahead, and then we are using $123. Change password successful. All right, and here we get the SMS. So now we know, okay, we can change the password if we just know the username. This would be an absolutely ridiculous flow. All right, we got this information from our content provider over here. And so here we have simply read out those information. Okay, so now let's try to hide our tracks. So let's say we are logging into this application. Whoops, we need to restart it first. So we are logging in at check. With the password hacked at $123. Okay, now we could make a transfer to account. So we are clicking get accounts to get the account of check, and we are now transferring it to this account. Was there already a success message? Yes, okay, here we have it now. Okay, so we've got now two logs. We've got the log regarding to the user login, and we've got this view statement. So to be absolutely rogue ninja, we have to manipulate both. But now we will only focus on this one right now, because yeah, this is the interaction with the content provider. Okay, so let's see, how can we delete our tracks? If we now query this once again, we want to delete this part here. And yeah, let's do this together right now. So let's make this a bit larger, and then content. So the help over here is absolutely amazing. So what we need is delete. We want to use content delete, then we're providing our URI, and then we have to use this bind with this binding. And this is a little bit complex, but there's also an example underneath. Yes, we do not have to use this bind. We could also simply use this where clause. Okay, so we are simply using this part. Let's copy this, and now we're just inserting the correct values. So we can make this a little bit larger. Okay. Once again, maybe let's fetch this information. Okay, so, and now we want to delete from the track users we want to delete where, and now the ID is equal 3. I'm not sure if we have to provide this in single quote in there, because that might be regarding to strings, but let's simply try this out. Okay, no error message. Let's see if this row has now been deleted. This one over here. Yes, perfect. So this is how we could hide those things regarding to this content provider. So we can delete entries, we can select, we can also insert entries. So maybe let's insert a new entry. Let's say Dinesh was the user which last logged into this application and had made this transfer. So let's see how this can be done. Okay, so content. And where do we have insert? Oh, here at the beginning, so that's why I missed it. You can navigate around with this one, usage. Here you can see insert, usage update, usage delete, usage query, usage call. Okay, so let's take this insert part. Let's see. Okay, we are taking this example, and then once again we are renaming it. Yes, here we are having this, which is a little bit more complex regarding to those bind things, but we can make this. Okay, so this is our old track, and now let's see. We want to use this content provider over here. And now we have to use this bind, and now we need to tell we need to tell what we need to add into this one. Okay, so we want to add a new entry into this table over here. And what we have to do is we have to insert a new row. And this row, the parameter we want to insert, has the name Dinesh. The first parameter, it's an auto increment, which means that it will be automatically being assigned to ID 3. This means we only have to provide the name we want to insert into this table right now. Okay? So this means we only need one bind. So the second one from the example can be deleted. Okay, and now the structure is relatively easy. First, we've got the column name. We can see the column name is name. Okay, perfect. Next, we've got s, which is the type and means string. And here we have now the string we want to insert. In this case, it's simply just Dinesh. All right, and this is how we can add Dinesh into this one over here. In case if we would have been multiple fields, then we would need to create multiple binds over here. All right? Okay, so let's see if this works. No error, that's good. And now let's see, track users. Okay, interesting. We can see Dinesh is being inserted over here, but that's not that rogue anymore because Dinesh has now the ID 4. And this is the reason because 1, 2, and 3 got deleted, and now we have been assigned the value 4. So if we also want to be more rogue, we have to update this entry, which is also a pretty good exercise because then we have done everything. Okay, so let's see. Content, how can we update this one? Insert update. So that's simple. Yeah, it's now the mixture of both, of inserting and deleting. All right, so let's take this example. And this one over here. And then we have recapped everything with our content providers. So we've got content update Yuri. And then we're taking this one. Okay, and now I clear the screen real quick, that we have it nice and cleanly. Okay, so we've got content Yuri, then we've got our database, then we've got now our bind, value, string, new value, okay? And then we've got our where statement. Okay. So this can be deleted. And now let's fill into this one. So our value, bind, value, string, new value. Okay, we want to update the name, the ID from type integer to 3, where the ID is equals 4. Okay, let's see. There's this one missing. Okay, no errors. Let's see if this has worked out. So let's query this once again. Yes. Okay. There's now a little bit issue to the row, but we can see this entry has been updated. So within the log, we've got now ID 1, 2, and 3, and this one over here, that's Dinesh. It's the user who has last logged into this one based on those IDs. All right. Okay, perfect. So this is how we can mess with this one around. Okay, so this is how we can delete entries, update entries, insert entries, or query entries within a content provider. There aren't that many more options, and I guess these are absolute sufficient enough to do this. Okay, so that's all from the content provider part. In the next video, we will have a look into broadcast receiver. So how to abuse this one to perform some amazing stuff. I will see you there.